Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here where I'm going to be deep diving into Marvis Pro and some of the new things that are available. The last couple videos I've done, about 2 videos ago, I went through how to set up different ways to show metadata in different places, and I was kind of winging it in that one. I was just setting things up on the fly as I was creating them for myself. As I've had a couple months here too, or a few weeks, who knows these days with time flying by as fast as it is. But as I've had some time to work with some of that metadata, made some tweaks, and I figured I'd go through a video that discusses kind of what my current setup looks like now, as well as some of the new features that have come out since then, largely the live activities that are on the lock screen. So I just wanted to kind of quickly go through what I've got, what it looks like. Now, the main thing to know is that if you want to do some kind of large overriding metadata setup for, let's say, songs when you open up an album. So if I open up this album, actually I have those ones set up specifically. Let's use this one. If I open up this album, it's got a uniform set of different things I've set up here. And that's all from the song section. So if you go to your song section on the side there and you open up the settings there, the displayed metadata, adjusting this will create essentially a new default for how things are represented in other parts of your library. So I've come up with this system and I like it a lot, and I think it's what I'm going to stick with for now. And what I've got is for any song anywhere, I will have a visual representation of the rating of that song. I really like this a lot more than just the number. The colors kind of help things stand out to me. So I've got a group here of different symbols. The white heart is going to be a 2-star song. The green is going to be 3 stars, red being 4, and then the cool teal and purple is going to be a 5-star song. And I have it set up so that these will only show individually. So if I go in here and look at smart conditions, it's going to be a rating of 2, shows a white star or a white heart. This one has, under smart conditions, a rating of 3, is going to be a green heart. So each one of these will only show up. They're all mutually exclusive, if that makes sense. They won't all show up at the same time because the smart conditions are not compatible with each other. Now, there are certain circumstances where I have a particular song that may be loved, but it's not rated yet. And so I wanted to represent that as well. And I have a red heart here. I have 2 rules set up for that. The like status is loved and the rating is 0. So that will flip that into there. I'm actually going to change that right now to green because I want it to match. Eventually it will be rated a 3. Monochrome, there we go. All right, so that should match that. I'll actually move that up too so that it's all in a row right there. And ideally, I would put this inside that group. I think that would be the best way to organize this. But I've also got a symbol here for a star, and what that's going to be is a song that is unrated at this time. So like status is none, rating is 0, and in library is true. So this won't show up for Apple Music playlists. It's only songs that I've added to my library and have not rated. The reason that I like that is because when I am going through rating an album, I can use the queue to see at a glance which songs I need to pay special attention to. I do use the play count in this format. I am going to probably change that as well. I'll show you what I have set up for my metadata and on the live activities setup. I really like this one. The symbol is the moon with a little sleepy time, and that's if I haven't listened to a song in the last year, but has at least one play on it at some point. So that one's really useful. And then the star, kind of these blue stars, is going to be just anything I've added to my library in the last 2 weeks. So I really like that because when I scroll through my queue, that's how things are going to be represented on here. So you can see, which song was new. I just listened to all these right now, so there's not going to be any moons on here. But at a glance, I can see, Walk Away by Lady Hawk up here at the top. That's going to be a song I like a lot. So using colors has been kind of an underrated feature of the metadata, like Revamp, that the developer put through pretty recently. So that's what I've got just for like across all my songs. Now, I love my random albums section, and so I've put some similar things into play for that. where you can see that I've got hearts of different colors. I've got the moon. You can see this Calexico album is one that I haven't listened to in a long time. And I've got the play button, which changes colors based on how many, what the median plays are. So I'll actually pull this up here. So under displayed metadata for albums, that's where I have these. So I've got ratings, and that's very similar to the last one. Smart conditions have to be a range because it's an album now instead of just a specific song. So I've set up my ranges where this is kind of 2.7 to 2.9. This one is 3 to 3.2, and then the purple album, that's going to be just amazing stuff at 3.3 or higher. I may need to revisit that just based on what I see, how much those all show up. But right now it's working really well for me. Same with plays, so pretty simple. Just got play count is 1 to 3, and that's going to be median play count. And the reason I like that is because then I feel like since this is an album view, this median play count is a better representation of how many times I've actually listened to the album by using the median instead of the average. An average can be dragged up if there's one song that I've listened to 50 times and all the others are 2. It's going to show up significantly higher than it would if I use the median, which is, even if I listen to one song 50 times and all the others are 2, the median play count is going to be 2, which is a good representation of how many times I've actually listened to the whole album versus specific songs on it. So really happy that they have a median option there. I've changed everything over and I like it a lot better. And then I still have this symbol here, and I've got the last played recent is not in the last 1 year. So this is basically taking what is the most recently played song, and if it's not in the last year, then it's going to show that Moon album right there. So this has been working really well for me. Just to, as I'm scrolling through, I love to queue up any albums that have the little moon on there, but also seeing, something like this Dig My Feeling album right here that has a gray play button, but a highly rated heart next to it. Those have become targets for me to try to listen to, as I can see that I really like the album a lot, but I just haven't given it a lot of play. So that's been awesome. Now, I'm not going to actually show what my lock screen looks like for the live activity setup, but I will show you how I have it set up in the settings here. So this is going to be under settings, and then under more down here, there's live activities. And I'm using the now playing live activities. I don't have the one set up for the up next. It doesn't personally help me too much. It looks pretty cool, so definitely use it if it's something you're interested in. But what I want to do is be able to see metadata on my lock screen. I want to see it everywhere. I would like to put up, if I could have metadata change on my walls in my room while music was playing, I would probably do that. So at a minimum, if I have the option to put that on a lock screen, I'm going to do it. So for the now playing, what I have configured are to not show the artwork. I want it to be just a thin little line. I've already got the artwork in the player section. And then it's really similar to what I have set up in other parts of this app. So I've got a piece of text that says essentially song info on there. Then I've got the album, because that doesn't show up in the player interaction screen right there. I've got the queue progress, which is great. I can see what song I'm on versus how much is left. And then I have, again, I would have probably set up a group here, but I just copied and pasted over these symbols to represent how many plays that song has. So this top one that's kind of a hollowed out play button is 0. And then I've got a white one for 0 to 2 plays. I've got a yellow one here when we're getting up a little higher, 3 to 8 plays, and then green is going to be anything 9 or above. I've got the same like system right here, so you can see I actually grouped all of them in. There's 2 green ones because one counts for just a love status without any kind of a rating, and then got the star symbol for an unrated song, the moon if it's been a long time I've listened to it, and then the little blue stars for newer stuff in my library, kind of that shiny sheen of a new song that's been added. So these all show up up at the top here. You can see kind of what it looks like a little bit. So you got the song info, and then the album, queue progress, one of those play icons, one of those hearts, and then any applicable things at the end there. So really like doing that. Really have found a lot of value in using symbols instead of just straight metadata. So hopefully this is helpful for you and getting your music library set up in the way you want it. As always, leave any questions you've got in the comments, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.